Good morning. So let's talk about the Lab 3 Excel sheet really quickly. I noticed there were a couple of questions, and actually some of the questions were questions that I had and figured out the answers to, so I thought I would share it with the rest of you guys. So as you know, for Lab 3, we're determining the vitamin C through iodometric titration with uncertainties. Now, the uncertainties calculations are a bit involved just because the calculations, the formulas themselves are involved. So for the uncertainty in the volume, that is a relatively simple formula. You're going to do the square root of your, your uncertainty squared for each trial plus the square root of your volume. Let me make sure of that. E11. Yes. So you're just basically squaring the uncertainties for the volumes for the burettes, adding those together, and then doing a square root of that. But the complicated part is when you get to the uncertainty of your molarity. Okay, that one is a bit more complicated because you have to go from relative to absolute uncertainty. All right, I'm going to piece together a video here in just a second where I'm going to write out that formula and what that's going to look like, and then I'll try to upload that this afternoon. But it is a bit more complicated because you do have to do the square root, and then you have to take what you have done under your square root and you multiply that by your molarity that you calculated. And so it is a little bit more complicated. You have to make sure you have the formula correctly and brackets in the right places. You're going to get the wrong answer. And these should be the same for everybody. So again, I will finish this video once I can write down some calculations for you guys and get the formula up there. Let me know if you have questions. Alright, so I don't have all of my whiteboard stuff with me, so I've written this stuff down on a piece of paper. It is a little bit messier than I would like for it to be, but we're just going to roll with it. If you need this, a hard copy of this, I can email you a PDF, or you can catch me in the halls and I'll get it to you. You can take a picture. So these are just basically the calculations. Alright, so you've got your molarity calculations for your iodine. And you're going to have to go, because we did this, the titration to determine this, some of these numbers are the numbers that you got in your titration. All right. Now I've gotten the formula for what you're going to put in to Excel down here. The constants, remember, you have to differentiate those with the dollar signs. So B6 is right up here. That's the mass of your vitamin C. And then 1 over F6 is 1 over the molecular weight of vitamin C. And then you're going to multiply this. This is a constant. This is the volume of vitamin C per titration over the total volume of vitamin C solution that we made. Okay. And then you're going to multiply this by the mole ratio because it is 1 to 1. You could skip that step, but butcher's probably going to want to see it in there to make sure you know how to do it. And then you multiply that by 1 over F9, which is right here. So this is going to be one of your measurements. That's the added I2 that you did in your first titration in order to get that color change. And then in order to go from milliliters to liters to get molarity, we have to multiply by 1,000 milliliters over 1 liter. So that's going to get us our molarity. And then in order to get the uncertainty in our molarity, we have got to do relative uncertainty and then multiply that by our molarity in order to get back to absolute uncertainty. So you have the uncertainty in your mass over the mass of your vitamin C squared plus the uncertainty in your added volume of iodide over your added volume of iodide. And that should also be squared. I must have forgotten to write that in there. You take a square root of that, and then you're going to multiply that by the molarity that you calculated up here to get back to absolute uncertainty. So I've written down the Excel commands. I'm hoping that you can read my handwriting well enough to be able to read this. If you need me to go through exactly how to put these in, I can. I've pretty much written down how it looks on my spreadsheet on here, and I'm fairly certain the answers are correct on that. So let me know if you need any help, and once we get closer to the lab where we finish this up, part 2, then we'll go through the calculations on that one. I'll see you guys soon.